know that this road you are building this magnificent family.
The little piece of it. He said, Dad, I'm afraid of losing someone I love.
Dominic Toretto. Boom! You building family.
I never got that chance.
My future. My family. Peace.
Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride, let's ride. Let's ride.
Armed and dangerous.
It's a setup.
What you gonna do? Why don't run?
When it used to be. Today,
That's the problem with having such a big family.
Let's race.
What do you think?
Game ready.
I'm coming for you, son.
Let's
Never be able to break my family.
Morning sunshine. You gotta be kidding me.
Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about Fast X 2023. If you love fast cars, crazy action and family emotions, then this movie gives you all of them together. But this time the story is bigger, the action is more dangerous and the enemy is smarter than ever. The movie starts with Dominic Toretto living a peaceful life with his wife Letty and his son little Brian. After so many missions, Dominic only wants to protect his family. He believes everything is finally normal, but at the same time, a new enemy is secretly making a plan. His name is Dante Reyes. He is not just another villain, he is completely unpredictable, dangerous, and very intelligent. He doesn't want money or power, he only wants revenge. Many years ago, Dominic and his team were involved in a mission that changed Dante's life forever. Now, Dante has spent years waiting for the perfect chance to destroy everything Dominic loves. Instead of attacking directly, he starts planning dangerous mind game. Every move is part of a bigger plan, making Dominic realize that this fight will be very different from all the previous ones. Soon, Dominic receive a mission that looks simple, but something feels wrong. He starts noticing that someone is watching his very step. Before he can understand what is happening, the situation suddenly changes and a deeply trap is waiting for him. As the mission begins, Dominic Toretto and his team believe they are going to complete another normal job, but within a few minutes everything changes. A hug explosion shocks everyone, and the whole city falls into chaos. At first, Dominic can't understand who is behind all this. Then he realized that every single step was already planned by Dante Reyes. This is not just a attack, it is a message. Dante wants Dominic to feel fear for the first time. He wants him to watch everything slowly fall apart. Instead of fighting with guns only, Dante plays with people's minds. Every move he makes is like a dangerous game. Soon, the police and different government agencies start believing that Dominic and his family are responsible for the destruction. Now the team is not only running from their enemies but also from the law. Everywhere they go, someone is chasing them. Their phones are tracked, their cars are watched, and even their old friends are no longer safe. On the other side, Letty is trying her best to stay strong. She knows that if the family becomes spotted, Dante will become even more powerful. So he keeps encouraging everyone to stay together. But the destiny has something else planned. Very soon, different members of the family are forced to go in different directions. Roman, Pearce, Tej Parker, Ramsey, and Hanlu all find themselves in dangerous situations where they must survive without Dominic by their side. Every member now has to make difficult decisions because one small mistake can cost someone's life. Meanwhile, Dante is always smiling, that makes him even more terrifying. He behaves as if everything is entertainment for him. He enjoys watching people panic. He keeps sending messages to Dominic, showing that he is always one step ahead. No matter where Dominic goes, Dante already knows his next move. Then comes comes one of the biggest action scene in the movie. A massive metal bomb starts rolling through the covered street of the city. Cars crash into each other. People start running in fear. Buildings shake and complete chaos spreads everywhere. Dominic knows that if he fails to stop this bomb, thousands of innocent people could die. Without thinking about his own safety, he jumps into his car and races toward the deadly bomb at full speed. The chase that follows is full of high speed action, sharp turns, hug, jumps, and unbelievable stunts. Every second feels more intense than the last one, and it becomes clear that this mission is not just about winning anymore. This time, Dominic is fighting to save innocent lives while trying to protect his own family from Dante's deadly revenge. After someone stops the disaster, Dominic Toretto does not get any time to relax. Instead of becoming a hero, he is blamed for everything. News channels show his face everywhere, and many people believe he is now a criminal. This is exactly what Dante Reyes wanted. He is slowly destroying Dominic image before trying to destroy his family. At the same time, little Brian becomes Dante's biggest target. Dominic know that nothing is more important than his son, so he leaves every other mission behind and focus only on protecting him. But escaping from Dante is almost impossible because he has already planned every route and surprise. On the other side of the story, Letty is captured during a dangerous fight. She wakes up inside a secret facility where she meets someone she never expected to see again. Schaefer. The two women were enemies before, and neither of them trusts the other. They know that one wrong decision could get them both killed. Still, they realize that if they want to escape, they may have to work together. Meanwhile, Roman Pearce, Tej Parker, Ramsey, and Han Liu are also fighting for their lives. Their plan is attacked in the middle of the journey, and suddenly everything turns into complete chaos. The team has no idea who they can trust anymore. Every new person they meet could either help them or betray them. Then the movie brings back some faces from the older Fast Furious films. This surprise return makes the story even more exciting because old enemies and old friends are now standing on the same battlefield. Nobody knows who will fight on which side. The biggest surprise comes when Dominic learns that Dante is not attacking randomly. Every explosion, every chase, every trap, and every fight is connected. It is all part of one monster plan. Dante wants Dominic to lose hope little by little. He wants him to watch his family suffer before the final battle even begins. Now Dominic is only one choice to must keep moving, keep fighting, and somehow one step ahead. But with every passing minute, Dante proved that he is always waiting around the next corner with another danger surprise. Now the movie enters its most intense part. Dominic Toretto understands that this is no longer just a race against time. It is a fight for his family's future. Every phone call, every road, and every new face could be another trap created by Dante Reyes. Even when Dominic thinks he has found a chef Alice, Dante somehow already know where he is. On the other hand, little Brian is starting to stay brave, even though he is still a child. He can see the fear of his father's face. Dominic keeps telling him that no matter what happens, family always comes first. These emotional moments remind us that Fast and Furious is not only about chaos and action. It at its heart, it is a story about family trust and never giving up. Meanwhile, Letty and Schreifer finally decide that fight each other is useless. They escape from the secretly facility together, but the journey is far from easy. They face heavily armed soldiers, dangerous security system, and many deadly obstacles. Even after escaping, they know they are still being hunted. Both of them have different personalities, but for now they share one goal to survive and find Dominic before it is too late. At the same time, Roman Pierce keeps trying to make jokes to reduce everyone's fear, but deep inside, he also knows the situation is becoming more serious than even before. Tej Parker uses all his technical skills to break security networks, while Ramsey searches for information that can expose Dante. Next move, Han Liu stay calm as always, but even he admits that this anime is unlike anyone they have faced before. Then another shocking twist arrives. Dante reveals that he has been planning this revenge for many years. He has collected information about every member of Dominic family. He knows their strength, their weakness, and even the people they care about the most. This makes him extremely dangerous because he doesn't attack with anger, he attacks with patience and perfect planning. Soon, Dominic is forced into another high-speed chase. Powerful cars race across highway, bridges, and mountain roads. Vehicles crash into each other. Helicopters appear in the sky, and explosions happen one after another. The action feels bigger than anything seen earlier in the franchise. Every stunt is designed to keep the audience excited, and every minute raises the tension even higher. During this chase, Dominic realizes that he can't defeat Dante by strength alone. He needs the help of every friend, every family member, and even some old rivals. Slowly, different characters began moving toward the same destination, setting up what looks like a unforgettable final confrontation. But just when it seems that Dominic is finally getting closer to stopping Dante, another unexpected surprise changes everything once again. The movie makes it clear that the biggest battle is still waiting ahead, and the danger facing Dominic and his family has only just begun. As the story moves forward, the pressure on Dominic Toretto becomes heavier than ever. He is exhausted, but he refuses to stop because he knows that every minute he loses giving Dante Reyes another chance to attack. This time, Dominic is not fighting for victory, he is fighting to make sure every member of his family stay alive. Meanwhile, Dante continues playing with everyone's emotions. He never attacks in a straight way. Instead, he keeps creating situations where Dominic has to make impossible choice, shave one person or protect another, follow the enemy or stay with his family. Every decision becomes more difficult than the last one. At another location, Letty and Cypher continue their dangerous journey after escaping. They know that powerful people are still hunting them. Along the way, they fight several enemies using both intelligence and courage. Slowly, they begin respecting each other's abilities, even though they still don't fully trust one another. Their scene bring a different energy to the movie because both characters are strong in completely different way. On the other side, Roman Pierce, Tej Parker, Ramsey, and Han Liu finally discover an important clue about Dante's plan. They understand that every attack so far has only been the beginning. The real target is much bigger than anyone imagined. If Dante succeeds, the damage will affect not only Dominic finally but also countless innocent people. The team immediately starts working together. They hacks different systems, Ramsey tracks hidden locations, and prepares for combat, and Roman keeps everyone's confidence high even during the most dangerous moments. These scenes remind the audience why this team has survived so many impossible missions over the years. Meanwhile, Dominic finally comes face to face with Dante again. Their conversation is just as exciting as their action scene. Dante smiles as if everything is under his control. He tells Dominic that the game has already started and that every move Dominic makes is exactly what he expected. Instead of looking angry, Dante looks calm, confident, and completely in control, making him one of the most memorable villains in the Fast and Furious series. After this meeting, another massive chase begins. Cars across narrow roads, hug trucks block the highway, and explosions light up the entire area. Dominic pushes his car to its absolute limit, performing unbelievable stunts to escape every trap. The cinematography during this sequence looks amazing, with fast camera movements, powerful background music, and non-stop action that keeps the excitement high. As the chase continues, the movie starts bringing all the sprite storylines together. Letty is moving toward Dominic. The rest of the team is trying to reach the same location, and Dante is waiting for everyone to arrive. It becomes clear that all roads are leading toward one hug showdown. However, the film still doesn't reveal how everything will end, keeping the suspense alive and making the audience eager to see what happens next. Now the movie reaches a point where every second feels important. Dominic Toretto no there is no way back. He has lost every palace where every easy opinion and still almost very advantageous. The only things still standing beside him is his family, and for Dominic that has always been enough. At the same time, Dante Reyes is enjoying every moment of the chaos. Unlike other villains, he doesn't trust. He wants Dominic to slowly feel happiness. He keeps appearing in different places, leaving messages, smiling, and reminding Dominic that every move is already part of his plan. This psychological game make the story much more interesting because the hero is not only fighting with his hands but also with his mind. Meanwhile, little Brian remains with Dominic during the dangerous journey. Even though he is young, he watches everything carefully. Dominic keeps teaching him one lesson again and again, that real strength is not about winning races Real strength is about protecting the people you love, even if you have to risk everything for them. These emotional scenes give the audience a small break between the non-stop action and reminding everyone why this franchise has always been about family. On other side, Letty and Cypher continue moving through dangerous location while trying to avoid enemy forces. Every path is blocked, every exit is guarded, and every mistake could be their last. They fight using whatever they can find around them. Their teamwork slowly becomes stronger, even though both know that when this mission is over, they may become enemies again. At the same time, Roman Pierce, Tej Parker, Ramsey, and Han Liu finally gather more information about Dante network. They discover that he has been preparing this revenge for years. He has money, powerful connection, advanced technology, skilled fighters, and people working for him in different countries. It becomes clear that defeating him will not be easy because he has already planned for almost every possible situation. The team realizes that they can't win by staying separated, so they decide to return with Dominic as quickly as possible. But reaching him is another challenge because enemies are waiting on every road. Fast cars began changing them again. Bullets start flying and explosions sack the roads. Still, nobody in the team gives up. Every member know that if they fail today, Dante will achieve his goal. Then the movie delivers another unforgettable action sequence. Dominic drives through dangerous mountain roads while several enemy vehicles follow him at full speed. Hug trucks, armored vehicles, and helicopters surround him from different directions. It looks almost impossible to escape, but Dominic uses every bite of his driving experience. He performs impossible jumps, crashes through obstacles, and keeps moving forward without slowing down. During this chase, the movie also shows how strong the bond between Dominic and Little Brian has become. Even in the middle of the danger, Dominic keeps telling his son to stay calm and trust him. Those small conversations make the scene even more powerful because the audience know that Dominic is trying much more than just his own life. Meanwhile, Dante watches everything from a distance. He looks completely relaxed instead of worrying. He smiles because this is exactly what he wanted. Every chase, every explosion, and every escape is pushing Dominic closer to the final trap. Dante believes that no matter what happens, the ending will happen on the terms. As the story moves closer to its climax, different characters from earlier Fast and Furious movies began appearing again. Some come to help Dominic, while others arrive with their own region. These surprise and enters make the movie feel much bigger than a normal action film. It almost feels like very important character from the Fast and Furious world is slowly coming together and one final mission. The background music becomes louder, the action becomes bigger, and the suspense keeps increasing with every passing minute. Every scene makes the audience feel that something hug is about to happen. The movie doesn't slow down for even a moment. One chase leads to another fight. One fight leads to another surprise, and every surprise brings Dominic one step closer to Dante. But just when it seems that Dominic has finally understood Dante's complete plan, the movie delivers another shocking twist. Once again, Dante proves that he is always thinking several steps ahead. The situation suddenly changes, the danger becomes even greater, and it becomes clear that the biggest battle of the movie is about to begin. Now the movie reaches its biggest and most emotional phase. Every member of Dominic Toretto family is fighting in a different place, but all of them have the same goal to stop Dante before it is too late. Dominic know that Dante is trying to spread the family because he believe that a divided family is easier to defeat. But throughout the Fast and Furious series, Dominic has always believed in one thing: family is the greatest strength. This belief gives him the courage to keep moving forward even when every situation looks impossible. Meanwhile, Letty and Cypher finally escape from the dangerous facility. They steal a vehicle and begin traveling toward Dominic. During the journey, they are attacked several times, but together they manage to survive every fight. Even though they don't fully trust each other, both understand that right now they have a common enemy. On the other side, Roman, Pierce, Tej Parker, Ramsey, and Han Liu finally discover where Dante is planning his final attack. They immediately head toward that location, knowing that if they arrive even a few minutes late, thousands of innocent lives could be in danger. At the same time, Dante prepares on one last deadly surprise. He places Dominic in a situation where he must choose between chasing his enemy or protecting little Brian. This is exactly the kind of decision Dante enjoy forcing people to make without thinking quick. Dominic chooses his son. For him, family has always been more important than revenge. This decision shows the difference between the hero and the villain. Dante fights using hate, while Dominic fights using love and loyalty. Soon, every road turns into a battlefield. Cars crash at high speed, helicopters fly overhead, explosions shake the mountains, and bullets fly in every direction. The action becomes bigger than anything shown earlier in the movie. The camera keeps switching between different characters, making every scene feel fast and exciting. Then comes one of the most emotional moments. Dominic tells little Brian that no matter what happens next, he should always remember one lesson: never leave your family behind. This short conversation becomes one of the strongest emotional scenes in the film because it reminds the audience why Dominic keeps rising his life again and again. Meanwhile, the rest of the team finally reaches the battlefield. Roman, Tej, Ramsey, Han, Letty, and the other all began fighting together. After spending most of the movie separated, the family finally stands side by side again. However, Dante is still smiling. He reveals that even this re- 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 reunion was part of his plan. Sorry, guys. He has prepared one final trap that could destroy everyone at once. Suddenly, the situation becomes even more dangerous than before, and the audience realize that the movie is hiding through MS's cliffhanger, setting up the next chapter instead of giving a complete ending. Now the movie reaches its final moment and the tension is at its highest level. Dominic Toretto and little Brian are trapped on a mountain road while Dante Reyes watches for a distance. Instead of fighting face to face, Dante wants Dominic to face one impossible situation after another. At the same time, the rest of the family is also fighting for survival. Roman, Pearce, Tej Parker, Ramsey, and Han Liu suddenly find themselves in another deadly trap. They try everything they can to escape, but the danger keeps growing with every second. Meanwhile, Letty finally gets closer to Dominic, but reaching him is not easy. Every road is blocked, enemy vehicles are everywhere, and time is running out even after all the action. The movie never lets the audience relax because a new surprise appears almost every few minutes. Then Dante reveals his final move. He has splashed hug explosives on the mountain road, leaving Dominic with almost no chance to escape. At the same moment, helicopters began surrounding the area from above while enemy vehicles close in from every direction. Instead of giving up, Dominic drives his car straight through the danger. He refused to surrender no matter how impossible the situation looks. His only goal is to protect little Brian, but before the audience can see who wins, the movie delivers a shocking cliffhanger. Massive explosions cover the mountain, smoke fills the screen, and the fate of Dominic and several other characters is left completely unknown. At the same time, another major surprise involving Gazelle Yashar appears, making it clear that the story is far from over. Instead of giving all the answers, Fast X ends by setting up the next chapter. It leaves viewers with many questions. Did Dominic survive? What will Dante do next? Will the family routine once again? Those answers are shelved for the next film, making the ending feel exciting and leaving fans anger for the continuation of the story. Now, if I talk about the movie, Fast X 2023 is meant for fans who love big action and fast cars. The story is simple, but the movie focuses more on action, emotion, and entertainment. From the first scene to the last scene, the movie keeps the energy high. The biggest positive point of this film is Jason Momoa as Dante Reyes. His acting is outstanding. Instead of looking like a normal angry villain, he looks calm, funny, and dangerous at the same time. Every time he appears on a screen, he makes the screen more interesting. Vin Diesel as Dominic Toretto once again give a solid performance. He doesn't talk much, but his screen presence is very powerful. The emotional scene between Dominic and little Brian also work well and make the audience feel connected. Talking about the action, this movie is on another level. The car chase, explosions, end-to-end fights, and dangers stunt are bigger than the previous Fast Furious movies. Some action scenes are unrealistic, but if you watch this movie only for entertainment, you will definitely enjoy them. The cinematography looks beautiful. Different cities, mountain roads, and high-speed chase scenes are captured in a very exciting way. The background music also matches the action perfectly and keeps the excitement alive. If I talk about the weak point, the movie is a little long and some scenes feel unnecessary. Also, a few action sequences are so over the top that movie don't feel realistic. But Fast and Furious fans already accept this style, so it doesn't become a very big problem. Overall, if you love action movies, fast cars, family emotions, and non-stop entertainment, then Fast X 2023 is definitely worth watching. It doesn't give a complete ending because it is only the first part of a bigger story, but it successfully builds excitement for the next movie. So, guys, this was Fast X. In my opinion, this movie is not perfect, but it is a complete entertaining package for Fast and Furious fans. If you are expecting a realistic story, then you may feel disappointed, but if you watch it for action, emotion, powerful villains, and amazing casters, then you will have a great time. The movie has a cast, big action scene, emotional family moments, and one of the most memorable villains in the franchise, Jason Momoa as Dante Reyes, steal the show, while Vin Diesel as Dominic Toretto once again carries the emotion side by side. After the mountain explosions, the movie immediately shift to another side of the story. Letty and Cypher are still trying to understand what has happened. They have lost they have lost contact with Dominic Toretto and the rest of the team. Nobody know where Dominic is alive or not. The silence creates even more suspense because every character is waiting for some kind of signal. At another location, Roman Pearce, Tej Parker, Ramsey, and Hanlu also find themselves in a life-threatening situation. Their vehicle is badly damaged, and enemies are closing in from every direction. Even after everything they have survived, danger, danger refused to end. They know that if they stop fighting for even 1 minute, Dante Reyes will win. Meanwhile, Dante remains completely calm. He walks through the destruction with a smile on his face, as if everything has happened exactly according to his plan. He believes that Dominic has finally reached the point where he has nothing left to lose. But at the same time, Dante also know one important thing: when Dominic fights for his family, he becomes even more dangerous. The movie keeps moving between different characters, showing that every member of the family is still fighting their own battle. No one is safe, no one knows what will happen next, and every scene builds more mystery instead of answering old questions. The film keeps creating new ones, making the audience eager to know what happens after this shocking moment. As the smoke for the explosion slowly fills the sky, the movie does not immediately reveal what happened to Dominic Toretto. Instead, it keeps the audience waiting. The camera moves to different palaces, showing that the entire Fast and Furious world has changed because of Dante Reyes. Everywhere people are searching for Dominic, but nobody knows whether he is alive or dead. Manuel later refused to believe that Dominic is gone. She has seen him survive impossible situations before, and she believes he will find a way again. Even though she is tired after everything that has happened, she keeps moving forward. She tells herself that this is not the time to cry, this is the time to fight. At another location, Cypher quietly watches everything happening around her. He understands that Dante has become a bigger threat than anyone accepted. Even someone as intelligent as Cypher admits that predicting Dante's next move is almost impossible. That makes the situation even more dangerous. At the same time, Roman Pierce, Tej Parker, Ramsey, and Han Liu are still trapped. Their surroundings are falling apart, and enemy force continue attacking from every direction. Roman try to keep everyone confident alive by making jokes, but even he can't hide the fear on his face anymore. Tej keeps searching for any system he can hack, while Ramsey looks for a possible escape route. Han remains calm, carefully watching every movement of the enemies before making his next decision. The movie the movie then cuts back to Dante. Like a normal villain, he is not celebrating loudly. Instead, he quietly enjoys watching the confusion spread everywhere. He believes that breaking a person's spirit is much more satisfying than simply defeating them in a fight. That is why he keeps attacking Dominic emotionally before attacking him physically. The story also reminds the audience that everything happening today started Many years ago, Dante never forget what happened to his family, and for years he patiently builds this plan. Every person he met, every resource, every weapon, and every trap become part of one giant revenge mission. This makes him different from the previous villain because he is willing to wait years just to make his enemy suffer. Meanwhile, the surviving member of the team began collecting whether equipment they can find. They know that another battle is coming. They repair damaged vehicles, collect weapons, connect old friends, and prepare themselves for the next fight. Nobody say it directly, but everyone understands that the next mission may be their hardest one ever. Then the movie shifts to another emotional moment. Different characters remember the words that Dominic always repeated. Family is not only about blood, family is about the people who stand beside you when everything goes wrong. These memories give everyone new courage. Instead of running away, they decide to continue the fight together. As the background music grows louder, the camera shows different members of the family traveling toward new destination. Some are crossing cities, some are driving through deserts, and others are moving across dangerous roads. Even though they are separated by long distance, all of them are moving forward the same future. The movie ends this part by creating even more suspense. It refuses to answer the biggest question: is Dominic really gone? Can Dante actually be stopped? While the family come together again before the next attack, instead of giving easy answer, the film leaves the mysteries open, making the audience excited for what comes next. As the story continues, the focus slowly shifts from action to preparation. Every member of Dominic Toretto family realizes that the next battle can't be won with speed alone. This time they need patience, planning, and complete trust in each other. Letty keeps searching for any clue that cloud lead her to Dominic. She refuses to believe that the explosion was the end of the story. Throughout the movie, Dominic has survived impossible situations, and Letty believes that hope should never disappear, even when everyone around her starts losing confidence. She continues moving forward without stopping. Meanwhile, Cypher studies everything she knows about Dante Reyes. She understands that fighting him with emotions would be a mistake. According to her, Dante always wants his enemies to react without thinking. That is exactly how he stays of everyone. Because of this, she avoids the team to remain calm and think carefully before making their next move. One another side, on another side, Roman, Pearce, Tej Parker, Ramsey, and Han Liu finally manage to regroup after escaping the deadly situation. Their clothes are damaged, their vehicles are almost destroyed, and everyone is physically tired. But but mentally they are more determined than ever. This began analyze all the information they have collected during the mission. The every mission left by Dante, every explosion, every chase, and every attack follow a pattern. Ramsey noticed that Dante never creates chaos without a reason. Every event pushes the family toward a bigger trap. The movie also spends time showing how deeply Dante understands his enemy. He know exactly how Dominic think. He know that Dominic will always choose family over everything else. Instead of seeing this as a weakness, the audience understand that this is actually Dominic's greatest strength. No matter how difficult the situation becomes, He never leaves the people he loves behind. As different characters continue their journey, the film gives a small emotion moment between the action. Friends encourage each other, old memories are remembered, and everyone realizes how much they have sacrificed over the years. This scene may not have explosions or car chases, but they make the characters feel more human and remind the audience why they care about them. At the same time, Dante is already preparing his next move. He sits quietly, looking at photographs, and feels connected to Dominic and his entire family. His confidence is unshaken because he believes the game is still completely under his control. Even after causing so much destruction, he acts as if the real battle has not even started. The movie slowly builds the feeling that something much bigger is waiting ahead. Every road leads toward another confrontation. Every character is moving closer to the same destination, and every passing minute increases the suspense instead of solving down after the explosions. The story keeps rising, the stakes making it clear that the conflict between Dominic and Dante is far from over. As the story moves forward, the movie starts connecting all the different storylines. Even though Toretto and his family are spirited, every path slowly begins leading toward the same destination. The audience feels that a massive confrontation is getting closer with every passing minute. Meanwhile, Letty never loses hope. She remembers every difficult moment that she and Dominic have faced together over the years. They have survived impossible missions, escaped from dangerous enemies, and protect their families many times from and protect their families many times before. Because of those memories, Letty believes that this story can't end too easily. On the other hand, Roman Pearce, Tej Parker, and Ramsey and Han Liu finally find a temporary safe palace. For the first time in a long while, they get a few moments to think instead of running. During this short break, everyone starts discussing what Dante Reyes might to do next. This explains that Dante is different from every enemy they have fought for before. Most villains attack with anger, but Dante attacks with patience. He is always ready with another backup plan. Even if one plan fails, he immediately switches to the next one. That is why defeating him becomes so difficult. Ramsey carefully studies all the digital evidence they have collected. She noticed that many attacks happened only to distract the team, while Dante secretly prepared something much bigger. This discovery makes everyone realize that they have only seen a small part of his real strategy. Meanwhile, the mission cuts back to Dante. Instead of looking worried, he is smiling as usual. He, he walks through his secret location surrounded by expensive cars, advanced technology, and loyal followers. He believes that Dominic is reacting exactly the way he wanted. According to Dante, when emotions control a person, they become easier to defeat. The film then shifts to little Brian. Even though he is still young, the dangerous journey has made him stronger. He has seen explosions, car chases, and enemies trying to hurt his family, but instead of becoming afraid, he keeps trusting his father. The bond between Dominic and little Brian remains one of the strongest emotional parts of the movie. As night falls, different members of the family continue moving across different locations. Some travel through empty highways, others cross forest and mountain. While if you secretly enter enemy territory, the background music becomes slower, creating a feeling that the next major event is getting closer. The movie also reminds the audience that the Fast and Furious series has always been about loyalty. No matter how many times the family is separated, they always find a way to stand together again. This message becomes even stronger in Fast Tracks because every character is willing to risk everything for the people they care about. Finally, the last moments of this section build even more suspense. Somewhere in the darkness, Dante quietly prepares another deadly surprise. At the same time, the family knowing drives closer to him. Neither side is willing to give up, and both know that the next encounter will decide much more than just one mission. As the story keeps moving forward, the feeling of danger becomes stronger with every scene. Dominic Toretto may be separated from some member of his family, but his influence is still visible everywhere. Every person in the team remember his words, no matter how difficult the road becomes. Never stop fighting for your family. These words become the biggest source of motivation for everyone. Meanwhile, Letty continues searching for Dominic without talking and just she know that every hour is important along the way. She and Cypher come across new enemies who are trying to stop them before they can reunite with the rest of the team. A fight begins, and both women use their experience to defeat the attackers. Although they are completely different people, they fight like perfect partners where their lives are on the line. One another side, Roman Pearce, Tej Parker, Ramsey, and Han Liu continue investigating, and Dante Reyes. They slowly realize that Dante has hidden safe houses, secret contact, and backup teams in different countries. This means that even if one of his plans fails, another one is already waiting. They say that defeating Dante will require more than fast cars and powerful engines. They must break his communication, stop his resource, and stay united at every step. Ramsey agree and starts tracking hidden signals that could reveal Dante's next location. At the same time, Dante is shown calmly watching everything for a distance. He never looks nervous, instead he enjoys watching the family struggle. He believes that the more pressure he creates, the more mistakes they will make. His confidence makes him one of the most unpredictable villains in the entire Fast and Furious series. The movie then returns to little Brian. Even after facing so much danger, he still believes his father will protect him. These father and son moments give the audience a emotional break between the action scene. They remind everyone that behind all the explosion and races, the real heart of the movie is the relationship between family members. Soon another high-speed chase begins. Powerful stops cars race through narrow roads while enemy vehicles try to surround the trim. Tires run across the road, engines roar loudly, and every turn becomes more danger than the last. Han uses his experience to escape several attacks, while Roman and Tej work together to create a opening for the rest of the team. The cinematography during the scene looks impressive. The camera follows the spinning cars from different angles, making every chase feel exciting and intense. Combined with the background music, this sequence keeps the audience fully engaged. As this part comes to an end, the movie once again reminds us that Dante is always thinking heist, even while the family believe they are getting closer to him. Dante is already preparing another surprise. The tension continues to rise, and it becomes clear that the biggest confrontation is still waiting just heist. As the movie moves into its final act, the atmosphere becomes heavier than ever. Every member of the family understands that there is no turning back now. Dominic Toretto has spent his entire life protecting the people he loves, but this time the changes is completely different. Dante Reyes is not trying to defeat Dominic in a simple fight. He wants to destroy his hope, his confidence, and the bond that keeps the family together. Meanwhile, Letty and Cypher continues moving across danger territory. Every road they track is filled with uncertainty. At one point, they notice that enemy vehicles are following them for a distance. Instead of running away immediately, they create a smart plan to confuse the pressure. At a fast chase through narrow roads and abandoned buildings, they finally manage to escape, but they know this victory is only temporary. On another side, Roman Pierce, Tej Parker, Ramsey, and Han Liu receive information that changes everything. They discover that Dante has been collecting information about the entire team for years. He knows their driving style, their fighting skill, their habits, and even the places they usually trust. This explains why he has always been one step ahead. Tess starts working on a counter strategy instead of reacting to Dante moves. He suggests that the team should predict what Dante wants them to do and then do the exact opposite. Ramsey supports the idea and begins using every available system to search for hidden communication between Dante and his network. Meanwhile, the movie cuts back to Dante, who once again looks completely relaxed. He speaks to his followers as if everything is already decided. According to him, the strongest enemy is not the one with the faster car, but the one who never lost control of the situation. His calm behavior makes every scene more uncomfortable because the audience never know what he is planning next. The story then focuses on little Brian. Even after witnessing so much danger, he continues believing in his father. Dominic tells him that Grace does not mean living without fear, it means doing the right thing even when you are afraid. This simple lesson becomes one of the most meaningful moments in the film and adds more emotion to the story. Soon another spectacular action sequence begins. Cars speed through tunnels across bridges and over rough roads while enemy vehicles try to trap them for every direction. The sound of enemies crashing metal and exploding vehicles create a non-stop feeling of excitement. Han shows experience behind the veil. Roman keeps increasing the trim. This gives instruction through communication devices, and Ramsey keeps updating everyone about enemy movement. As the chase continues, the audience realizes that every member of the family has a important role. Nobody is fighting for personal glory. Everyone is risking their lives to protect one another. This teamwork has always been the biggest strength of the Fast and Furious series, and Fast X highlight it once again. The movie ends the section by building even more suspense. Somewhere aged Dante is waiting with another carefully prepared trap. The family believes they are finally getting closer to him, but deep down they also know that Dante never makes a move without having another backup plan. The tension keeps rising, making it impossible to predict what will happen next. As the story moves east, every road begins leading toward one final destination. Dominic Toretto realized that running away is no longer a option. No matter where he goes, Dante Reyes somehow finds him. Instead of hiding, Dominic decides that the only way to protect his family is to face every challenge directly. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is still trying to reconnect with one another. Roman, Pearce, Tej Parker, Ramsey, and Han Liu keep traveling through dangerous route while avoiding enemy patrols. They know that Dante has people watching almost every road, so they avoid the obvious path and move carefully. During the journey, Roman asks an important question. He wonders why Dante keeps giving them chance to escape instead of finishing the fight immediately. Tej replies that this is exactly what makes Dante different. He doesn't want a quick victory. He wants his enemy to lose hope little by little. For him, fear is more powerful than weapons. At the same time, Letty and Cypher continue gathering information from different sources. They discover that several attacks through the movie were not random at all. Every mission, every explosion, and every chase forced the family into position where Dante wanted them to be. The realization shocks everyone because it shows how carefully the revenge plan was created. The movie then cuts to Dante once again. He stands in front of a large screen filled with maps, photographs, and surveillance images. Looking at everything, he quietly smiles. He believes that Dominic has already stepped into the final stage of the game. To Dante, every person is like a chess piece, and he enjoys controlling the entire board. Meanwhile, little Brian noticed that his father looks more serious than ever before, even though Dominic tried to stay strong. The responsibility of protecting everyone is clearly visible on his face. Still, he never lets fear control his decisions. He keeps reminding himself that as long as the family stands together, there is always a chance to win. Soon another intense action sequence begins. The team drives through a narrow mountain route while enemy vehicles appear from both sides. Heavy trucks try to block the road. Motorcycles chase them from behind, and helicopters circle above. Instead of panicking, Han calmly searches for a escape route while this guides everyone using live information. Roman creates a distraction, allowing the others to break through the enemy line. The action in this sequence feels fast and energetic. Cars side slide around sharp corners. Engines roar loudly, and every second brings another dangerous obstacle. Even though the situations are larger than life, the cons- consist- consistently changing location and introducing new challenges. After escaping, the team finally gets a brief moment to breathe. During this quiet scene, they begin talking about everything they have experienced together over the years. They remember old friends, old missions, and the sacrifice that brought them to this point. This emotional conversation reminds the audience that this family has survived because they always trusted each other. As the night grows darker, the movie creates another feeling of suspense. The family believes they are getting closer to finding Dante, but the audience know that Dante is also waiting for them. Both sides are preparing carefully. Both sides understand what is at stake, and neither side is willing to back down. The final moment of this section suggests that the next encounter will not be a ordinary chase or a simple fight. It will be the moment where every decision, every sacrifice, and every lesson learned throughout the movie will finally be tested. As the movie continues, the pace becomes even faster. Every member of the family know that they are entertaining the most dangerous part of the mission. There is no time left for mistakes. One wrong decision could change everything. Dominic Toretto understands this better than anyone, so he tells everyone to stay focused and never lose trust in each other. Meanwhile, Dante Reyes continues playing his dangerous game. Instead of attacking with all his power at once, he keeps trusting the family. Every trap is designed to check how they react under pressure. He believes that if he can force them into making one emotion mistake, the entire team will fall apart. On another side, Letty finally reconnects with Roman Pearce, Tej Parker, Ramsey, and Han Liu After being spectated for so long, the reunion gives anyone fresh confidence. They quickly exchange all the information they have collected. Piece by piece, they began understanding the full picture of Dante plan. Ramsey explained that Dante has created several backup locations across different countries. Even if one base is destroyed, he can continue his operation from another place. This means the family can't simply win one fight and accept everything to end. They must stop the entire network behind him. Meanwhile, they discover silent communication singles that reveal the movement of enemy vehicles. Using this information, the team changes its route several times, avoiding multiple ambu- ambushes. This seems so that intelligence is becoming just as important as speed. The the movie then cuts back to Dominic and little Brian. Even after facing endless danger, little Brian never complains. He simply asks his father if everything will be okay. Dominic smiles and tells him that no matter how dark the road becomes, they will always find a way forward together. This small conversation adds another emotional layer to the story. Soon another massive chase begins. This time the action takes place across long highways, narrow bridges, and a strip mountain roads, cars try to surround Dominic from every direction. Heavy trucks block the road as while motorcycle attack from behind. The sound of engines echoes across the mountains, creating one of the most exciting action scenes in the movie. During the chase, Han performs several clever driving moves to protect the rest of the team. Roman risk is almost happy to distract the enemy vehicles while Tej keeps giving live direction through the radio. Ramsey tracks enemy movement every second, helping the family stay one step ahead. Meanwhile, Dante watches everything for a remote occasion. Instead of looking worried, he quietly smiles because he believes this chase is leading the family exactly where he wants them. For him, the roads, the explosions, and the betrayals are all part of one carefully designed strategy. As the sequence comes to an end, the family finally reaches what they believe in Dante's next location. Everyone prepares for a direct confrontation. Weapons are checked, vehicles are ready, and every member knows that this mission could decide the future of the entire family. But just before they make their move, the movie drops another expected surprise. The palace is not exactly what it seems, and once again the audience realize that Dante has hidden another layer of his plan. Instead of giving easy answer, the story keeps building suspense, making the next chapter even more exciting. As the team carefully enters the location, they immediately realize something is wrong. The palace looks completely empty. There are expensive cars, broken equipment, and signs that many people were working there only a short time ago, but now there is complete silence. Dominic Toretto looks around carefully because he knows that Dante Reyes never leaves a palace without a reason. Meanwhile, Tej Parker connects his laptop to the security system, hoping to recover detailed files. Ramsey begins searching through the detailed records while Han Liu and Roman Pierce secure the building in case enemies are hiding nearby. Every member of the team is doing something important because they know that even one small clue could help them understand the next move. After a few minutes, Ramsey successfully reports part of the detailed data. The files reveal that Dante has been watching the family for years. Every mission, every race, and every important event has been recovered in detail. The The team is very the team is shocked because they realize their enemy know almost everything about them. This discovery explains why Dante always seems prepared before every confrontation. At the same time, Letty noticed a strange symbol on one of the walls, and it points toward another hidden room inside the building. As everyone carefully walks inside, they find maps, photographs, and detailed plans connected to different cities around the world. It becomes clear that Dante has been planning a worldwide operation, not just a personal revenge. Meanwhile, the movie cuts the Dante sitting quietly inside another secret location. He watches the team through surveillance cameras and smiles. He expected them to find the building. In fact, in fact, he wanted them to discover it. According to Dante, every clue he leaves behind is another step in the game. He wants Dominic to believe he is getting closer while secretly leading him toward a even bigger trap. Back at the hideout, Tess discovers another encrypted file. It is protected by several security layers, making it extremely difficult to open. With Ramsey help, they finally unlock part of the information. The file contains details about another planned attack, but before they can read everything, the system suddenly details itself. The team managed to save only a few important pieces of information without wasting time. Everyone preps to leave the building. Dominic understands that staying there any longer would be dangerous. As soon as they step outside, enemy vehicles suddenly appear from different directions. Within seconds, another massive chase begins. Cars speed across highway at full throttle. Enemy, drivers try to block every possible escape route, while helicopters follow from above. Han leads the convoy through narrow roads. Roman creates distraction to slow down the pressures. Tej keeps changing routes using live maps, and Ramsey warns everyone everyone whenever a new enemy vehicles appear during the chase. Dominic noticed that the enemy is not trying to destroy them immediately. Instead, they are pushing the team toward a special location. This makes him realize that Dante is once again controlling the situation from behind the scene. The movie ends this section by increasing the suspense once again. The family escape the immediately danger, but everyone understands that they are still inside Dante carefully planned game. Every road as feels uncertain, every decision becomes more important, and the next encounter promises to be even more dangerous than everything they have faced so far. As the chase finally slow down, Dominic Toretto pulls his car into a quiet area far away from the main road. Everyone steps out, tried but still ready to continue. Nobody celebrates escaping because they all know one thing: Dante Reyes always has another move waiting. Tej Parker quickly checks the damaged equipment. They manage to save from the enemy hideout. Most of the files were unearthed, but a few important details remain. Ramsey studies the information carefully and noticed that several locations marked on the map are connected to old mission completely by Dominic and his team years ago. This surprised everyone because it means Dante has been planning his revenge for much longer than they imagine. Meanwhile, Roman Pierce Dante wonders why Dante keeps leaving clues behind. Han Liu quietly replies that the clues are not mistakes, they are invitationals. Dante wants the family to follow him because every palace they reach has already been prepared. This realization makes the entire team more careful. At another location, Letty speaks privately with Dominic. She tells him that the team is exhausted, but nobody is thinking about giving up. Dominic looks at everyone around him and realizes how much each person has sacrificed. Some have lost friends, some have lost peaceful lives, and all of them have spent years protecting one another. He quietly thanks everyone for standing beside him through every difficult mission. The movie then shifts back to Dante. He walks through another secret base while his followers prepare vehicles and weapons. Unlike the family, nobody in his group asks questions, they simply follow orders. Dante calmly explains that the next phase of the plan is about to begin. He believes the family has reached exactly the point where he wanted them, physically tired but emotionally determined. According to him, that is when people make their biggest mistake. Soon Tej discovers a hidden message inside one of the recovered files. The message contains only a few words and a set of coordinates. Nobody knows whether it is another trap or a genuine clue. After a short discussion, The team decide they can't ignore it. If they do not, nothing. Dante will stay one step as forever. The family starts another journey, this time traveling through remote roads far away from busy cities. The scenario changes completely. Instead of crowded streets, there are open landscape, mountains, and long empty highways. The peaceful environment creates a strong contrast with the dangers surrounding the characters. While driving, little Brian asks Dominic if life will ever become normal again. Dominic smiles for a moment and say that he hopes one day they can leave all the fighting behind. But until that day comes, they must stay together and protect each other. This quiet conversation becomes one of the most heartfelt moments in the story. As night falls, the team finally reaches the mysterious locations shown in the core coordinates. At first, everything looks abandoned, but after closer look, they notice fresh tires marks on the group and recently opened gates. Han immediately realize they are not alone. Someone has been there only a short time before. The camera slowly moves across the empty buildings, silent roads, and dark surroundings. The background music becomes softer, creating a feeling that something unexpected is about to happen. Every character prepares for another confrontation, but nobody knows what is waiting inside. Just as Dominic signals the team to move forward, the movie leaves this important hanging, building even more suspense and making it clear that the next step could change everything. As Dominic Toretto gives the single, the entire team slowly moves inside the abandoned compound. Every corner is checked carefully because everyone except another surprise from Dante Reyes. The building is completely silent. Broken lights hang from the ceiling. Old machines are covered with dust, and the only sound comes from the footstep of the train. The atmosphere feels tense, making it clear that danger could appear at any moment. Meanwhile, Han Liu quietly moves eyes to inspect the area. This expression tells him that the silence itself is suspicious. Roman Pierce stay close behind, trying to lighten the mood with a joke, but nobody laughed this time. Every Roman realized that this mission is different from all the others. On the other side, Tej Parker and Ramsey began checking the control room. Most of the computers have already been destroyed, but one system is still running on backup power. Tej connects his device and starts recovering the remaining data. After several minutes, the scan suddenly comes to life. Instead of secretly files, a record video begins playing. The video shows Dante Reyes smiling directly at the camera. He speaks as if he knows exactly when Dominic and his family will arrive. He tells them that they are always following the path he has prepared. According to Dante, every decision they make only brings them closer to the ending he has already imagined. His confidence sacks everyone because it feels like he is always watching them. As the recording ends, a alarm steadily starts ringing throughout the entire building. Red emergency lights being flashing and heavy metal doors start closing one after another. The team immediately realize that they have walked into another trap. Dominic quite quickly orders everyone to split up and find another exit. Han and Roman push open one of the closing gates while Letty helps little Brian reaches a safe area. At the same time, Tej and Ramsey desperately try to stop the security system before the entire building locks down. Outside the compound, several enemy vehicles suddenly arrive. Armed men surrounded every exit, making escape almost impossible. Within seconds, another explosive action sequence begins. Car crash through metal barriers, bullets fly across the area, and smoke covers the roads. Dominic jumps into his car without hesitation, smashing through obstacles to create a escape route for the others. Meanwhile, Letty fights hand to hand against multiple attackers while protecting little Brian. Han uses his driving skill to block enemy vehicles, giving Roman and Tess enough time to regroup. Ramsey finally disable part of the security system, allowing the last locked gate to open just before the enemy reach them. The family escaped the compound, but they know this was never Dante's real objective. It was only another task to exhaust them and measure how they would react under pressure. Even after escaping, everyone feels that the real battle is still waiting ahead. As the team drives into the darkness, Dominic quietly looks in the rear view mirror. He realizes that every victory has come with a cost, and every step forward has brought them deeper into Dante's game. Still, he refused to lose hope. He knows that as long as his family remains together, they still have a chance. The with movie ends this section with a camera shifting back to Dante, who watches the family escape from another hidden location. He smiles once again and quite say that the next move will decide everything. The screen fares with a strong feeling of suspense, leaving the audience eager to see what happens next. The movie is very exciting for the viewers who want to see after escaping from the deadly trap. Dominic Toretto and his family stop at a hidden safe house far away for the city. For the first time in many hours, everyone gets a chance to breathe. The team is tried, their vehicles are damaged, and they have almost no resource left. But one thing has not changed: their determination to stop Dante Reyes. Inside the safe house, Tej Parker begins repairing the communication equipment while Ramsey tries to recover the remaining files from the damaged hard drives. The room is completely silent. Everyone knows that whether information they find could decide the next mission. Meanwhile, Letty sits beside Dominic and asks him a simple question: how many more battles do you think we have to fight? For a few seconds, Dominic says nothing. Then he quietly replies, as many as it takes to keep our family alive. The answer reminds everyone why they have followed Dominic for so many years. A few minutes later, Ramsey suddenly discovers a hidden file that was not deleted. It contains several satellite images of a Iceland in the middle of the ocean. At first, nobody understands why Dante would be interested in such a remote place. But after studying the image carefully, they noticed something unusual deep inside the island in a massive underground facility that can't be seen from above. The entrance is hidden beneath a old shipping port. Everyone immediately realized that this could be Dante real headquarters. Without wasting any time, the family starts preparing for another mission while everyone gets ready. The movie shifts to Dante. He is standing inside the underground base looking at dozen of giant screens. Every screen show a different path of the world. His followers continue bringing him information from different countries. One of his men tells him, sure, they escaped again. Instead of becoming angry, Dante starts laughing. He replies, good. A game is only fun when your opponents survive long enough to play another round. His followers remain silent because they know Dante never lost control of his emotions. Back at the safe house, Han Liu begins checking all the vehicles. Roman Pearce jokingly says, can we please have one mission without explosions? Avery smiles for the first time in a long while. Even Dominic smiles slightly before saying, with our luck properly not. The light-hearted moment lasts only a few seconds because they suddenly receive an emergency signal. Nobody know whether it is a friend or another trap created by Dante. The signal becomes stronger. The screen slowly turns on. A mysterious person appears, but the face is hidden in darkness. The unknown voice says, "If you really want to defeat Dante Reyes, then stop chasing him." The room becomes completely silent before anyone can ask another question. The transmission suddenly ends. Everyone looks at each other with confusion. Who was the mysterious person? How does this stranger know about Dante? And why did they say that chasing him is exactly what he wants? No one has the answer, but one thing is certain: the next mission is going to even more dangerous than everything the family has faced before. The movie is very important For the viewers who enjoy the action, the Hung army of Snow White reaches the castle of Ravenna. The castle stands on top of a hill surrounded by strong walls and hundreds of soldiers. It looks almost impossible to enter for a few seconds. Both armies stand quietly. No one moves, no one speaks. Everyone knows that once the first attack begins, there will be no turning back. Then Snow White flips her sword toward the sky. She, she shoots for the kingdom. Immediately, her entire army runs forward. The soldiers of Ravenna also charge toward them. The final battle begins. Swords crash against each other. Shields hit with great force. Arrows fly through the air. The battlefield quickly becomes full of smoke, dust, and loud shout. The huntsman fight at the front of the army. He swings his axes with incredible power. One enemy after another falls before him. Every move shows why he is one of the strongest fighters in the kingdom. The dwarves also join the battle. Even though they are much smaller than the enemy soldiers, they fight without fear. Their teamwork helps them defeat many enemies. Meanwhile, Snow White keeps moving forward. She is no longer hiding behind anyone. She fights beside her soldiers. Whenever some falls, she helps them get back up. Seeing their princess fighting with them gives the army even more courage. Inside the castle, Ravenna watches everything from a high window. She can't believe that the people she once controlled are now fighting against her. Her anger grows stronger every second. She decides that the battle outside no longer matters. She will kill Snow White herself using her dark magic. Ravenna appears from the room like black smoke. At the same time, Snow White finally enters the castle with a small group of loyal soldiers. The halls are dark and completely silent. The sound of the battle outside slowly becomes weaker. Now every step inside the castle feels dangerous. The huntsman tells Snow White to stay careful because Ravenna can attack from anywhere. Suddenly, the doors close by themselves. The room becomes cold. Black smoke starts filling the air. Then Ravenna slowly appears in front of Snow White. She smiles confidently. She tells Snow White that this castle will become her grave. But Snow White does not stay back. She looks directly into Ravenna's eyes. She says that today the people will finally become free. For a few seconds. Both women stand face to face. No one attacks. No one speaks. The entire movie has become leading to this one moment. Then both of them raise their weapons. The final fight between Snow White and Rowena is about to begin. For a few seconds, complete silence fills the room. Snow White and Rowena keep looking at each other. Both know that only one of them will leave the castle alive. Then Rowena attacks first. She uses her dark magic and sends a wave of black smoke towards Snow White. The room shakes, the walls crack, everything around them starts breaking, but Snow White quickly moves to one side and avoids the attack. She immediately runs to Rowena with her sword. Rowena blocks the attack and throws Snow White backward using her magic. For a moment, it looks like Rowena is much stronger. Outside the castle, the battle is going on. The huntsman keeps fighting to stop the queen's soldiers from entering the castle. He knows that this fight now depends completely on Snow White. Inside the castle, Rowena keeps using powerful spells. Black smoke surrounds the room. Sharp pieces of stone fly through the air. The fight becomes more dangerous every second, but Snow White remembers everything she has learned during the journey. She does not fight with anger, she fights with grace, hope, and confidence. Every take she makes becomes faster than before. Ravenna slowly starts losing control for the first time. Fear appears in her eyes. She realizes that Snow White is no longer the little girl she locked inside the tower. She is now a true queen. Ravenna screams in anger and gathers all of her remaining magic for one final attack. A hug wave of dark power moves towards Snow White at the last moment. Snow White runs straight through it. She raises her sword with all her strength and she straps Ravenna in the chest. The queen stops moving. The black magic around the room suddenly disappears. Everything becomes quiet. Ravenna looks at Snow White one last time. Her powers slowly leaves her body. Within moments, she falls to the ground. The Will Queen is finally defeated. At the same time, outside the castle, the Queen soldiers realize that Ravenna is dead. They immediately stop fighting. Some throw down their weapons, others surrender. The long war finally comes to an end. A few days later, the kingdom begins to change. People clean the streets, families return to their homes, children laugh again, flowers start growing once more. Hope returns to every corner of the kingdom. Finally, Snow White is covered as the new queen. The people happily become her. The huntsman stands proudly among the crowd. knowing that he helped save the kingdom. The movie ends with Snow White sitting on the throne, looking at her people with a smile after years of darkness, peace, freedom, and hope finally return to the kingdom. There, the battle inside the castle may have ended, but the story is still not over. After Ravana falls to the ground, every soldier inside the castle loses the courage to fight. The dark magic that had covered the kingdom for many years slowly started disappearing. The black clouds move away, sunlight returns, and the cold air becomes warm again. Outside the castle, the huntsmen and the remaining soldiers entered through the main gate. They they search every room to make sure there are no enemies left. When the huntsman reaches the throne room, he sees Snow White standing with her sword in her hand. He smiles because the kingdom has finally been saved. The dwarves also arrive and happily celebrate the victory. They can't believe that the little princess they once protect has defeated the most powerful with the witch in the kingdom. Soon the prison doors are opened and many innocent people who had been locked away by Ramayana are finally free. Families meet each other after many years. Some people cry with happiness, while others thank Snow White for giving them a new life. The news of Ravana defeat spread across the entire kingdom. In every village, people ring bells, light fires, and celebrate together. The kingdom, which had lived in fear for so many years, finally feels hope again. A few days later, the royal ceremony takes place inside the castle. The hall is beautifully decorated with flowers, flags, and candles. Soldiers stand proudly on both sides while the people gather to welcome the new queen. Snow White walks slowly toward the throne, wearing royal clothes and a beautiful crown. Everyone bows their hands as she passes. She sits on the throne that once belonged to her father, but unlike Ravenna, she does not rule with a fear. She promised to protect every person in the kingdom with justice, kindness, and courage. The huntsman quietly watches everything from the crowd. She does not ask for any reward, because seeing peace return to the kingdom is enough for him. The dwarfs smile proudly because they know they helped change history. The movie ends with Snow White looking across her peaceful kingdom, showing that true strength does not come from dark magic or beauty, but from a kind heart, bravery, and the courage to be never give up. After Ravenna dies, the battle inside the castle also comes to an end. The Queen Soldier realizes that there is no reason to fight anymore. So many of them put down their weapons and surrender. Outside the castle, the huntsman and the rest of the army enter the palace and make sure every corner is safe. Soon they reach the throne room where Snow White is standing with her sword. The huntsman smells with pride because he knows that the true queen is finally born. The dark magic that covered the kingdom slowly disappeared, and the sky becomes bright again, and people began to feel hope after many years. The prisoners locked inside the castle are set free. The families meet each other again with tears of happiness. News of Snow White victories spread across the kingdom, and people from every village start celebrating. They know that their long suffering has finally ended, and a new beginning is waiting for them. After Snow White defeats Ravenna, the battle inside the castle finally comes to an end. The Queen's soldiers slowly realize that their ruler is dead, and many of them throw down their weapons. Some of them run away, while others surrender without fighting anymore. Outside the castle, the huntsman and the remaining soldiers enter through the main gate. They carefully check every room to make sure no enemy is hiding inside. When the huntsman reaches the throne room, he sees Snow White standing with her sword. He smiles because he knows the kingdom has finally become free. Slowly the dark magic disappears from the castle, the sky becomes bright again, sunlight returns, and people began to smile. After many years, the prisoners are released, families meet each other again, and everyone thanks Snow White for saving the kingdom. News of the victory spreads across every village. Bells start ringing. People celebrate in the street, and everyone believes that a new future has finally begun. Meanwhile, Snow White quietly looks around the castle, knowing that her biggest battle is over, but her responsibility as the future queen is only just beginning. A few days later, the entire kingdom starts preparing for a very special day. People clean the roads, decorate the castle with flowers, and place the laurel flags on every wall. After so many years of darkness, everyone wants to become a new beginning. Men, women, and children travel from different villages because they all want to see Snow White become their queen. Inside the castle, Snow White quietly gets ready for the ceremony. She looks at her father, old crown, and remember everything that happened during her journey. She remembers the tower where she spent many lonely years, the dark forest, the dwarfs who helped her, and the huntsman who never left left her side. She understands that becoming queen is not about wearing a crown, it is about protecting everyone, every person in the kingdom. Soon the loyal ceremony begins. The large hall is filled with soldiers, villagers, and loyal families as Snow White walks toward the throne. Everyone stand up to welcome her. The hall becomes completely silent. Then the crown is slowly placed on her head, and for the first time, she officially becomes the queen of the kingdom. The people clap loudly, and their voices fill the entire castle with happiness. Among the crowd, the huntsman watches everything with a smile. She does not ask for money or any reward. Seeing peace return to the kingdom is enough for him. The dwarves also stand proudly smiling at each other because they know they helped shape the future of the kingdom. As the movie comes to its final moment, Snow White looks at her people who, with confidence and hope, showing that kingdom, courage, and truth are always stronger than fear and dark magic. As Snow White sits on the loyal throne, every person inside the castle bows with respect. The people are not only happy because the evil queen is gone, they are also happy because they finally have a ruler who truly cares about them. Snow White thanks everyone who stood beside her during the difficult journey. He said that this victory does not belong to one person, it belongs to every soldier who fought bravely, every villager who never lost hope, every dwarf who risked his life, and especially the huntsman who believed in her when almost everyone else had given up. After the ceremony, Snow White walks through the streets of the kingdom instead of staying inside the castle. She wants to meet her people and understand their problems. Children happily run toward her, old people bless her, and families thank her for giving them a peaceful life again. The broken houses slowly start being rebuilt. The empty farms become green again. Markets reborn, and people finally began living without fear. The kingdom, which once looked dark and lifeless, now feels full of hope and happiness. Meanwhile, the herdsman quietly prepares to leave the castle. He never wanted fame or power. He is so forced to protect Snow White, and now that she is safe, he believes his work is finished. Before leaving, Snow White thanks him for changing her life. She tells him that without his courage and support, he could never have reached this day. The huntsman simply smiles and tells her that she was always stronger than she believed. It is a emotional moment because both of them know how much they have changed during this journey. The final scenes show the kingdom become alive once again. Flowers bloom across the land. Rivers flow peacefully. Birds return to the forest, and the people celebrate together. The camera slowly moves away from the castle while Snow White stands on the balcony looking at her peaceful kingdom with a smile. The movie ends by showing that true beauty is not found in magic or power but in kindness, bravery, sacrifice, and a heart that always chooses to protect others. That is the real message of Snow White and the Huntsman, and it leaves the audience with a satisfying ending. So, if I talk about final opinion, I think Snow White and the Huntsman 2012 is much more than a normal fair tale. The movie gives us action, adventure, fantasy, and emotional moment at the same time. The biggest strength of this movie is its beautiful visuals. Almost every scene looks like a painting, especially the dark forest, the magical palace, and the castle. The cinematography is excellent and makes every location feel real and grand. The background music also matches everything perfectly and makes the emotional moment even stronger. Talking about the performance, Snow White show a good transformation from a scared girl to a brave queen. The Huntsman is one of the best characters in the movie because he is strong, emotional, and always interesting to watch, but the biggest surprise is Ravenna. She looks beautiful, dangerous, and powerful in almost every scene. Whenever she appears on the screen, she keeps the audience interested. Her expression, voice, and screen presence make her a memorable villain. The movie is not perfect because the story become a little slow in the middle and a few scenes feel longer than needed. Some characters also do not get enough screen time, but the action scene, the fantasy world, the dark atmosphere, and the final battle make the movie worth watching. If you enjoy fantasy movie with magic, adventure, and strong visuals, then this movie is definitely a good choice. From my side, I would give Snow White and the Huntsman 2012 out point 5 out of 10 because it delivers a beautiful fantasy experience with memorable character and a exciting story from beginning to end. Huntsman, at first, this movie looks like a simple fairy tale, but after watching it, you understand that it is much darker and more serious than the old story. This movie mixes fantasy, action, adventure, drama, and emotion together. If you are excited only a princess story, then this movie will surprise you because it is full of battle, magic, dangerous forest, and powerful characters. The movie begins by showing a peaceful kingdom ruled by a kind king. His daughter Snow White is loved by everyone because she is innocent, kind, and always smiles. Her mother died when she is very young, and after after that the kingdom slowly loses its happiness. One by one day, the king finds a beautiful woman named Rowena, but he has no idea that she is hiding a terrible secret. On the very night they get married, Ravenna kills the king, takes the throne, and turns the entire kingdom into a palace full of fear. From that moment, the movie completely changed its tone. Instead of showing a magical fairy tale, it starts showing a dark world where innocent people suffer every single day. One thing I really liked about this movie is its atmosphere. Every location looks different. The castle feels cold and lifeless. The village look empty, even the forest look dangerous. The filmmakers have done a great job creating a world that feels real. While watching the movie, you actually feel that the kingdom has been under Ravana rule of many years because every person looks tired, scared, and hopeless. Even before the action starts, the visual tell you how much pain the people have gone through. When Snow White grew up inside the tower, you start feeling sympathy for her. She has spent most of her life alone without freedom. She has no friends, no family, and no one to trust. Still, she never become a bad person. That is one of the biggest quality of her character. Even after living in darkness for years, she keeps hope alive inside her heart. This makes the audience connect with her very quickly. You want her to escape because you know she deserves a better life. The introduction of the huntsman is also very interesting. He is not shown as a perfect hero, instead, he is broken, lonely, and carrying the pain of losing his wife. Because of this, he drinks too much and no longer believes that life can become better. This makes his character feel realistic. When Ravana promised to bring his wife back, he accepts the mission because he has nothing left to lose. At this point, the audience understands that he is not a bad person. He is simply a man who has lost everything. The chemistry between Snow White and Huntsman grows naturally. At first, they do not trust each other. Snow White thinks he is another enemy, while the huntsman only wants to complete his mission. But after spending time together, both characters slowly began to understand each other. Their friendship developed in a believable way, and that is one reason why the emotional scene worked so well. The movie does not rush their relationship, instead, it gives enough time for both characters to grow together. As the story continues, Snow White and Huntsman travel deeper into the dark forest, and this is where the movie becomes even more interesting. The dark forest is not just a normal forest, it almost feels like a living creature. Every tree looks twisted, the fog covers the ground, strange sounds come from every direction, and every step makes the audience feel nervous. The visual effects in this scene are very impressive even today. Many shots from the dark forest still look beautiful and scary at the same time. The movie spends enough time here to make the audience feel the danger inside of rushing of the scene. While traveling together, the huntsman slowly changes as a person. Earlier, he only cared about completing his mission, but after hearing Snow White's story, he starts seeing her as the true princess of the kingdom. He realized that she has suffered much more than anyone else. Even after losing her pageant and spending years inside a tower, she still chose kindness over revenge. That is the biggest reason why the huntsman decided to protect her instead of handing her over Ravenna. This decision completely changed the direction of the story. One of my favorite parts of the movie is the magical forest where Snow White meets the white deer. After spending so much time in dark and dangerous palace, suddenly the audience see a world full of light, flower, beautiful birds, clean water, and peaceful animals. The color palette changes completely, making this scene look fresh and magical. When the white deer walks through Snow White without any fear, it becomes a symbol that nature itself accepts her as the true queen. It is a simple scene, but it has a deep meaning because it shows that goodness can still survive even after years of darkness. Soon after a peaceful moment, the movie quickly returns to action. Ravenna soldiers attack from different directions, and Huntsman once again proves why he is such a skilled fighter. His fight scene feel heavy and realistic because he does not fight like a superhero. He struggles, get tired, and takes hits, but he never stops protecting Snow White. This makes every battle more exciting because you never feel that victory is granted. Every fight looks difficult, and that increases the tension throughout the movie. After escaping from the soldiers, the group meets the dwarves, and the movie adds a little humor without destroying its dark atmosphere. At first, the dwarfs do not trust Snow White or the huntsman because they believe anyone could be working for Ravenna. But after listening to their story, they decide to help them. I like this part because the dwarfs are not shown only for comedy. They are brave, loyal, and experienced fighters who know the forest and mountains better than anyone else. They become an important part of the journey and help Snow White move closer to her final goal. Their friendship also adds warmth to the movie, giving the audience a few peaceful moments before the story becomes serious again.